Hey wave makers, it's Moana, a teenage girl with a lot to say and a lot more to learn. This is Making Waves. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we are talking about how people pleasers are actually some of the most self-centered, selfish people ever. And maybe ever is a little bit dramatic, but this is something that I learned / realized from reading this book, actually right here. If you are watching the video podcast, it is 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. And this was literally like half a paragraph was about people pleasers being self-centered. And I had a lot of thoughts on it and turned it into a full podcast episode. So, first of all, if you have not read this book, go read it. I love it. It's one of my favorite books of this year that I've read. And the author is amazing. I love the way she writes, and I will definitely talk about this book in another episode, but let's talk about this because I think that it is such an interesting way to look at things and like was a huge just realization for me that I think so few people talk about. And so I wanted to talk about how people pleasers are actually quite self-centered, and people pleasing is a very self-centered and selfish thing to do. So, number one, in the book, she mentions that when you are focused on people pleasing and you're constantly worried about pleasing everyone and what you do and how it's gonna make, like, how your actions are going to affect that other person, and like you want to make sure that you make them happy, you're assuming that everyone cares about every single thing that you do. Because for most people pleasers, it's about, people pleasing everybody and keeping everybody happy. They want to be the peacekeepers. They want everybody to be happy. And when you do that, you're assuming oftentimes, and I'm an ex-people pleaser, so I can say this, you're oftentimes assuming that everything that you do will affect how, like, everybody's paying attention to you all the time. And you have to make sure that you're doing what's going to please somebody else. But you are not the center of everybody else's universe, just yours. And I think it is important to embrace the fact that you're your own main character, you're the main character of your story, so you're in control of your story. But nobody else is reading your story the way you are. And so, you're not the center of anyone else's universe, just your own. And the world doesn't revolve around you, your world revolves around you, but everyone else's world revolves around them. Because we all have our own lives, we have different family members and friendships, and, me compared to my little brother, I think is a really great way to explain this, because him and I have literally spent, I don't think we've even spent a full week apart, ever. So, when we have the same exact family, we have nearly the same, or we did before he started school, but generally speaking, our schedule is pretty much the same and was for majority of our lives. Now that we're older, it's definitely starting to change, but we have completely different friends, and we have completely different relationships with everybody in our families, and we have completely different hobbies, and so we are probably two, like, other than a set of twins, we are so similar, but our lives are completely different, and we're both thinking about different things all the time. Because my whole world is about Moana. What is Moana wearing? What is Moana doing? What is Moana learning? Who is Moana talking to? His whole world is Orion's world. What is he talking to? Who is he talking to? Who is he talking with? Who is he spending time with? All of those things is what he's focused on. And I'm focused on me. And so when you're people pleasing, you are assuming that people are focused on you. And they are paying attention to everything that you do, and you're assuming that everything you do has an effect on everyone else, and everyone else cares what you're doing. And the reality is, everyone's way too focused on themselves to care about what you're doing. And I think oftentimes, people pleasers, we see them as these people who want to please everybody, keep the peace, make everyone else feel good and happy. But a lot of the times, the reality of them people pleasing is caused by them wanting to be liked. So they want to make everyone happy so everybody likes them, which is also a very surprisingly selfish thing, like thinking that you and your actions and the things that you're doing, if you can make them happy, oh, then they'll like you. I want everybody to like me, when that's not gonna happen. And so the real motive behind people pleasing, that's subconscious, because most people pleasers are genuinely good people. They're not trying to be selfish or self-centered, but the underlying motivation is they want people to like them. And people who people please because they genuinely just want to keep the peace, they want to make other people happy, they want other people to feel good, oftentimes don't realize the fact that they are, because they're trying to please everybody, they're trying to make everyone feel good, they think that the things that they do control how other people are going to feel. When in reality, you have absolutely no control over how anyone will feel. And so you can try as much as you want to please other people, but that doesn't mean they're going to be. And you can't control or change the way that somebody else feels. You also, honestly, any situation, you don't know what anyone else is thinking. And in the book, she gave an example that was really, really great. And I don't remember the exact way, but this is kind of like the general way she explained it was, and I'm going to explain this a little bit more in a teenager way, but think about your friend texts you and is like, do you want to hang out? They texted you to see if you wanted to hang out because they felt bad because they didn't hang out with you last week. But they don't really want to hang out. They want to spend the night alone. But they're like, no, I should invite them over because yada, 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 right? You get that text and you're like, I really don't want to hang out tonight. I have like so much homework to do and I don't feel like hanging out with them, but I don't want to make them feel bad and deny their invitation. So I guess they'll say yes. So you're both unhappy because they invited you because they felt like they should to make you happy, and you said yes because you felt like you should to make them happy, but really, both of you ended up doing the opposite happened that both of you wanted. And so, you're assuming that you know how everybody else is feeling and thinking, and that you are going to change that and affect that. So when you assume that you know what they're thinking, and you both end up doing something that you didn't want because you were trying to please the other person. But if you focus on you and what you want and trying to be the best version of you and, still being the best friend that you can be, but that doesn't mean that you need to try and everything you do needs to be intended to make somebody else happy. Because, like I said, when you are people pleasing like that, it becomes very self-centered because you feel like and you think that everything you do, everybody's always watching you. Everybody always cares what you're doing. And really, nobody does. I think that Emma Chamberlain addressed this a couple of years ago, and I think there was an audio that went around about it. About how literally no one cares. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody cares what you're wearing. They are so focused on themselves. Think about when you wake up in the morning, you're going to school, right? You're getting dressed. You're like, oh, what am I going to wear? Whatever. You get ready. You're in school. You're walking down the hallway. Think about how focused you are on yourself, what you look like, what you sound like, what you're saying. You don't think twice about the person that walks by you because nobody else is that focused on you. Only you are that focused on you. And if somebody is paying that much attention to you, you're probably doing something right. So just remember that and know that if you are a people pleaser or you're struggling with people pleasing, know that you might be making it worse for somebody because you're so worried about the fact that everybody is focused on you and that you have the power to make everybody else happy, but really you could be making it so much worse, like the example I gave, because they're both trying to people please and they both ended up unhappy. So keep that in mind. Pay attention to the things that you're assuming about other people, and it might help you realize, oh, hey, I don't really know what they're thinking. Either you can ask. This is what I always say. This is something that I've tried really hard to do, and I've talked to a couple of my friends about too, is when you're inviting someone to come over, or to do something. Instead of being like, hey, if you want to come over, come. Say, if you can be there, I would love to have you. Number one, it shows them that you want them there. It's not about whether they want it or not. If they're like, oh, do you want to stay over? Or somebody asks, like, hey, can I do this? Do you want to do this? And they're like, if you want to. And it puts the pressure on this decision more on them of, oh, if I want to, but do they really want me to? When you can just say, I would love to have you if you can be there. If you want to be there. But saying that you would love to have them makes a huge, huge, huge difference for everybody. And so when you are inviting people and doing things like that, saying that can make a huge difference. This is a little bit of a ranty episode, but I hope you get the point that when you're people pleasing, you're actually assuming, and it becomes very self-centered because you think that people are so focused on you, and I promise you they are not. Nobody cares about all the small little things that you do. You are the one that's so focused on that. So if you can realize that, you'll feel so much more freedom to be able to, just let things go, let things happen, and not feel so much pressure and anxiety about all of your little habits and tasks. When I'm recording a podcast, I'm so focused on, I'm like, oh, is the frame right? Is my hair fine? Oh, my makeup, should I do this? Should I do that? What should I wear? Literally nobody cares. As long as I feel good and I know that I look good and I am showing up as the best version of myself to record, that's all that matters. And so just realizing that literally nobody cares what you're doing. It's all you. You care about what you're doing, but nobody else does. So focus on you. Focus on what you can do to make yourself the best version of you and make yourself the happiest, healthiest version of you. And when you do that, it will in turn help other people. It will inspire them to do the same. Your confidence will radiate off of them when, you're making decisions like that. Oh, should I hang out? Should I not? Be confident in what you want in your decisions. And it will be, I don't want to say good karma, but kind of that, it will radiate off of you and people will feel that.